Yo, what's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, important match for both these decks. This match will decide which deck will move on to the top 16. First deck is TG Agents, for me at least very nostalgic deck, back a couple of years ago. Second deck list we have Geargia's, OCG Geargia's by the way, to spice things up a little bit with triple soul charge, triple emergency teleport as well, the Maxis, which can be important against Agents for example, but most importantly, triple Geargia gear. It seems a bit 50-50 for this matchup, but maybe Agents have the small advantage since Geargia is like a slow deck, and you know, with Hyperion popping the face down, that could be important. So let's hop into the first duel. First game, and I think I get to start. I'm playing with Agents, the opponent is playing with Geargia. This is a good hand, opening with Hyperion, the Earth to immediately search out the Venus, the possible mystical space typhoon for your opponent's back row. The creature swap is actually decent, but eventually I decided to just keep the creature swap here. Didn't really seem like a good play to swap an unknown face down card from the opponent. Of course, best case scenario, it was like a Geargia armor. But still, he would have been able to pop, or at least destroy my face down Venus with the attack, and yeah, and then it's still not sure that it's an armor, but eventually used up the Honest to get over the armor, and yeah, eventually he does get rid of my field, but I can somewhat come back a little bit with the TG Warwolf and Hyperion. I think I'm forced to drop Hyperion, still have creature swap in my hand. I'm well aware of the fact that the opponent does have access to Leo in the extra deck, so again, very strong synchro against Agents, since pretty much this whole deck like targets, and the only outs to the Leo synchro is like Honest, which I already used up. Creature swap is definitely an option. And Dark Hole, I believe Dark Hole should be in the main deck as well. But he gets like a lot of advantage out of, I believe, Soul Charge? Yeah, indeed, Soul Charge for 3, if I'm not mistaken, and it does play it out really well with the Dracossack here popping the Hyperion and Stardust. Stardust is so good against Agents, stopping the Hyperion, but yeah, of course, stopping its destruction effect. Hyperion has to attack over the Stardust, and then you can pop cards, but still, your opponent will always have that back row, like for example the Venus Chain or whatever. Again, he does a Venus Chain for, I believe, the Envoy here. Eventually, he should be able to deal some nice damage. No, this is not game yet, but I think my next draw is not going to save me here. So a hard-fought game. Yeah, Dark Hole. But still the Stardust, again, protecting his entire field. So a hard-fought, very important game number 1, who goes to the opponent. I get to start, good hand, Trap Dust Shoot and Venus. What more do you want, right? So eventually use Agent Venus for the 3rd time, go for Gachi, set a Dust Shoot as well, so possibly get free information about my opponent's hand, and I believe I send back the Arsenal if I'm not mistaken, and face Mystical Space Typhoon, the Venus Chain, and now I can pretty much lock up the duel. We know the opponent's hand, his set card was level 3 Geargia monster, go for Daigusto Phoenix, go for Leviathan to set up the Venus or the Agent monster in the grave, needed for Hyperion to be summoned. And then after that I can still attack for a game. So 1-1, very fast game number 2. But again, game number 3, the opponent is at the advantage here, especially because he's playing Geargia, right? He goes for Geargia, I get X, pretty much standard play, right? I'm not setting the Mystical Space Typhoon for, you know, Heavy Storm. I believe special summon the TG Striker, I believe was an okay play, have some defense for next turn and have a possible synchro option here later. Depending, of course, if my opponent had any back row or hand traps, and but yeah, I still sacrifice my TG Striker for next turn, possibly with a Venus next to it. You know, Trishula play, for example. But Maxi again gives him a couple of draws. I believe only 2, but still 2 very important draws eventually. I think he's able to go for Dracossack with, yeah, there it is, indeed, the Dracossack and the double back row, both Compulse and the Mystical Space Typhoon, and again, and you will see that he again has another copy of Maxi. My hand is good, I think I have to random Typhoon one of his back rows hitting like Venus Chain, Compulse or whatever. and then drop the Venus, hope that I can use its effect a couple of times and then make my play after that. Maybe Levier, for example, special summon a banished tuner, etc, etc. Depends again on what he has said. But again, the Maxi, I think I'm forced to give him give him a couple of draws. I have a brain fart here. I thought the Saizan Karakuri switching position effect was once per turn, but of course it's not. So I sacrifice a small amount of damage. But in the end, he again makes a very good move. Again, the Stardust Dragon coming in clutch, protecting his entire back row. Yeah, maybe I should have used, at least, yeah, I tried to use Hyperion, or at least attack with Hyperion over the Stardust. But yeah, I think in any situation he would have used the Phoenix Chain to block both Hyperion's attack and of course Hyperion's effect. So he would always have been protected by the Heavy Storm. Yeah, using Mind Control here to gain control of the Stardust Dragon and then use Heavy Storm, but what after that, right? It's always game. So some very nice duels, definitely one of the better matches here in this Cross-Banlist Cup. So yeah, somewhat expected, right? Geargia's move on to the top 16 playoffs next to Minerva Swarm. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave